Although using blasters and lightsabers is always fun, Star Wars has a specific name for a reason. Star Wars would not be what it is now without the numerous starships that are present in the cosmos. The usage of ships in war scenes throughout all the ages is one factor in that. Starfights have been a mainstay of this long-running franchise from the prequel to the sequel eras. Others stand out for their exciting action, cinematography, and several other characteristics, while some may appear typical for the series. Return of the Jedi managed to keep things interesting despite the fact that it saw the Rebellion attacking another Death Star. Now, the whole fleets of the Rebel and the Imperial sides are engaged in combat, each aiming to destroy the other's cruisers in order to inflict serious damage. Both groups have a variety of starfighters, which results in various dynamics. The action is more intense than ever and keeps things interesting. The Millennium Falcon leads an attack on the Death Star II's core instead of a trench, resulting in an escape that is even deadlier than the entrance. It just makes for a great ending for the original trilogy when taken into account with everything else that is going on. The starfight that Star Wars fans typically consider to be the most significant. George Lucas crafted one of the finest Star Wars franchise climaxes with X-Wings bringing the fight to the Empire on the Death Star, evoking vintage fighter pilot movies. In fact, it has such a significant influence on canon that it serves as the foundation for the whole Star Wars chronology, with years denoted as BBY or ABY. Numerous other movies, including additional Star Wars movies, have attempted to imitate the trench run because it has grown to be so well-known. When Han Solo joins the battle or when Luke employs the Force to hurl the torpedoes down the Death Star's shaft and destroy it, it's difficult not to applaud him. The offensive against the Separatists is being led by Obi-Wan Kenobi and Anakin Skywalker in the opening scene of Revenge of the Sith. This was the pinnacle starfight of the prequel period, showing how differently Obi-Wan and Anakin function in spacecraft and including a full-scale battle between clones and droids. That implies, in a manner, that every other starfight or ship-focused moment in the movie pales in comparison. It seems like the start of the final chapter, and it's a powerful opening if seen as one of the major fights designed to illustrate how the Clone Wars will conclude. A dramatic and enormous fight that maintains a darker and gritty tone helps Gareth Edwards' Rogue One, a Star Wars story to look and feel like a true war movie. Thanks to the skillful Greg Fraser, who places the cameras directly onto the starfighter hulls, it also offers fresh perspectives on the combat. Rogue One's conclusion contains everything that makes a good starfight and only enhances it. This includes returning characters from A New Hope to help everything connect to that movie and seeing a more beachhead location for the dogfights on the planet. Even if this starfight from Solo, a Star Wars story is not the most epic, it is unique. It displayed the dependable Millennium Falcon engaging Imperial fighters within the Maelstrom matter cluster. Han Solo displays his aptitude as the ship's pilot for the first time, evoking the scene in A New Hope where he and Luke fought off TIE fighters. He is still able to outmaneuver the Empire despite all the obstacles and dangers. As they jointly pilot the Falcon for the first time, Han Solo and Chewbacca's bond also continues to grow at this time. The Maelstrom fight doesn't receive enough credit, especially when paired with some well-known, classic John Williams music. Despite not possessing the Force, Jango Fett was able to defeat a Jedi with the help of his customized Firespray-31. He can outsmart, outpace, and outmaneuver Obi-Jedi Wan Starfighter. More suspense is generated by seeing the two fighters follow one another through an asteroid field while making fun of the Empire's pursuit of the Millennium Falcon. The seismic charges that Jango Fett unleashes against Obi-Wan are what most fans remember about this confrontation, and for good reason. The delayed boom of the charges' explosions grew to be recognized as a signature Star Wars sound effect, and it even appeared again in The Mandalorian and the Book of Boba Fett. Poe Dameron's reputation as one of the galaxy's top star pilots is strengthened by The Last Jedi. Poe engages a First Order Dreadnought cruiser in the first combat while flying an X-Wing. He may lack firepower, but he makes up for it with intelligence and quickness. But the conflict is not only centered on Poe, it shifts to a genuine firefight as a number of fighters and bomber carriers cooperate to take out a Dreadnought. It provides a powerful prelude to The Last Jedi by demonstrating the Resistance's tenacity as well as how lethal the First Order had grown. The Battle of Hoth is a perfect illustration of how the Empire Strikes Back deviated from the convention. Typically, good is defeated by heroes because they can never lose. Not in this instance, where the Empire invades Hoth and successfully defeats the locals. Through well-known battles between Red Squadron and Rogue Squadron and the Adat Walkers, the rebellion exerts considerable effort. However, the Empire's victory shows that they are not just a generic bad guy and that they, along with Darth Vader, should be feared, raising the stakes for the whole saga. The rise of Skywalker was intended to be the end of the longest tale in history, one that stretched more than 40 years. As a result, the biggest collection of spacecraft, both new and ancient, from all across the galaxy joined together to battle the Final Order in the decisive starfight that brought this vast saga to a close. This combat royale has everything, including X-Wings, the Millennium Falcon, the Ghost from Star Wars, Rebels, the Tantive IV, and even a Luke Hulk droid control ship. It represents the convergence of several generations of Star Wars characters and followers. The cherry on top was having Wedge Antilles and Lando Calrissian leading the charge. It looks like a small-scale conflict to pit one ship against 4 TIE fighters. But in part, that explains why A New Hope endures so effectively. The first starfight of the series has Luke, Han, Leia, and Chewbacca battling off a squadron of TIE fighters, and it is perfectly performed through camera work, suspense, and the soundtrack. The Falcon sustains damage, R2-D2 must perform maintenance, and Han and Luke both defeat fighters as the scenario is set to one of John Williams's most well-known compositions. Hey, if you enjoyed this video, make sure you click the like button so I can feel all mushy inside. Also, click the subscribe button while you are there, and then since you are on such a clicking roll, why not click on another awesome video that is already loaded up right here. You don't even have to watch it, just let the video play at 1% while you eat your sushi or something.